Welcome back to my channel, Fent Ventures. My name is Chris and thank you for watching. Today I will show you how to remove and reinstall the rear wheel on a 2020 Ducati Multistrada Enduro. First, I collect the necessary tools. These tools include a 12mm and 10mm open end wrench, a 36mm 12-point socket, torque wrench, and wipes. First, you're going to loosen the 12mm nut securing the 10mm push bolt. Now turn the 10mm push bolt into the swing arm a little bit to relieve pressure on the axle and the chain. I make sure to make the same adjustment on the push bolts on both sides of the axle. The reason for making the same adjustment on both sides is to make reassembly easier. If you loosen and don't keep track of the adjustment, that's okay. The chain adjustment and wheel alignment will be the same, just a little bit more work. Now remove the axle by using the 36mm socket and turning the axle nut counterclockwise. Also, before removing the axle nut all the way, smack it with the palm of your hand to dislodge the axle and make removal easier. As I am tearing things down, I am always cleaning to prevent any dirt from getting into the wrong places. Please note that at no point in time should you ever hit the axle or the nut or anything like that with any hard object like a hard hammer or the back end of your wrenches to get the axle to move. You want to either use your hand or use something very soft, so you can use a piece of wood or a rubber-headed mallet. So now remove the axle. You will need to lift the tire slightly to get the axle out. I use my foot to maneuver the rear wheel and make it easier for removing the axle. It is also important to place your parts on a clean surface and keep them organized. Once the axle is out, push the wheel forward and remove the chain from the sprocket. Then you can remove the rear wheel from the bike. I then clean the exterior of the hub, ensuring no dirt gets into the hub. So after you've had the new tire installed, or for whatever reason you're needing to remove the tire, you now need to put the tire back on. I use Maxim waterproof grease to grease up and lubricate the axle prior to installation. You then place the tire into place. Be careful to get the disc into the caliper first and then push the tire to the front. Make sure to lubricate the seals and the spacers prior to reinstallation of the wheel. The spacers themselves are also directional, so the small spacer on the right hand side of the bike has a little lip. That lip should be on the outside of the seal. place the chain back around the sprocket. Now with the tire forward, place your foot behind the tire and roll the tire back onto your foot. This will raise the tire up to allow you to place the axle. You then want to clean off the end of the axle and threads. Place the push block and then install the axle nut. Now back the push bolts back out to the original position. If you're unsure how far you screwed them in, then do your best to guess how far out they need to go. You then want to check your wheel alignment by utilizing the notches in the swing arm in relation to the push blocks. Set your wheel alignment and then check your chain tension. If you adjust your chain tension first and then your wheel alignment, you'll likely have to readjust your chain tension. So then once alignment is correct and your chain tension is set, ensure push blocks are against the push bolts and tighten the axle. Then double check that you tightened the securing nut on the push bolt on both sides and that your chain tension is correct. Make sure to always tighten the axle nut to the correct specifications. Contact your dealer or service manual for correct torque specifications. And then test ride to ensure no weird sounds and that the bike is handling correctly and that the rear brakes work. By doing this, you're just double checking the work that you did. After the test ride goes successfully, then enjoy the ride. Thank you again for watching, and please subscribe for future content.